This is Spud here from hitstartnow.com coming at you with another quick hit. Now, as you can see, there is a large bag in front of me. So, I've got a load of ideas in mind for this year's quick hits. I've got loads of ideas to throw out there, but I decided to start off with this large bag. This is a big old bag of games, straight up. It was bestowed onto me as a Christmas present by people I'm not going to mention because I don't know if they want me mentioning them. So let's dig in. Wait until you see some of this shit. This is one of the craziest things I've ever received. We're going to open it on up here. And this fucking bag is huge. And it weighs a shit ton. A metric shit ton. I measured it. You know, I damn near broke my wrist the other day just bringing this thing home. So here we go. Let's see what we've got in here. We start off with a Sony PlayStation 2. Now, I've got a couple of PlayStation 2s hanging around the house, but I am a strong believer that a man can never have enough PlayStation 2s. After that, we have a Sony PlayStation 2. Now, I'm a strong believer that a man can never have enough PlayStation 2s. I love the PS2. It's no lie. It's no secret. Check the links down below. I'll link it straight up to, I'm pretty sure I did a best of PlayStation 2 video at one stage. No, it was my 200th PlayStation 2 game. I'll drop that video down below if you're interested. I love the PlayStation 2. I think it's a phenomenal console. I think it's the greatest console of all time. Straight up. No bullshit. You know, and there's no harm in having a few more PlayStation 2s around the house. There's really not. You know, in case one craps out, I'll have another one. Fucking rock and roll, man. You know. What else have we got in here? We have one of these which I haven't had before. This is new to me. This is a Sega Dreamcast. Now, I'm going to be straight up. I know very, very little about the Dreamcast. I've always wanted to know more of it. I've been having a look around. I haven't got to test drive it yet, but I've had a look around and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's got all full fucking ports in here, so you can play with 4 of your friends. There are a couple of joypads in here to go with it. There is a memory card for the joypad. It needs a quick bit of a polish, but that's okay. That's no problem. So does my Super Nintendo. You know? And I've always wanted to really get involved in the Dreamcast. I've played it maybe once or twice, and that was it. I remember playing the original Soul Calibur, Crazy Taxi. Now, I'm talking about the original Soul Calibur, not when it was Soul Age or Soul Blade back on PS1. I'm talking about Soul Calibur, in between that and Soul Calibur 2. I'm really looking forward to digging into the Sega Dreamcast, because I missed out on a lot of Sega. After the Mega Drive or the Genesis, depending on where you're watching this from, I really missed out. And I never got involved with them because PlayStation was kind of taken up. You know, PlayStation had me by the reins, and I was this little bitch, straight up. That was grand. I'm happy enough with that. And I love my PlayStation consoles. So Sega kind of got pushed out to the side, and it wasn't just me either. It was pretty much everybody I knew was on the PlayStation wagon at the time. So there were no Sega Dreamcasts to check out, no Sega Saturns either. You know, nobody I knew really had one. One guy had one for a short amount of time that he borrowed, and that's when I got to play it. So I'm looking forward to digging into it. I'm also looking forward to digging into it using these here games, and I'm not sure just how well you can see them because my camera is shit. We've got Crazy Taxi, we've got Rayman 2, we've got Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, which I loved on PS1, and Crazy Taxi I love on PS2. We have Code Veronica X, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Sorry, without the X, because this is before it came out on PlayStation 2, back when it was just Code Veronica. I remember seeing Code Veronica on TV one night and being fucking crazy jealous because it wasn't coming out in the PlayStation console. Oh man, I was pissed. But it did eventually, but at the time it didn't look like it was going to happen. We got Choo Choo Rockets, which I'll be honest, I've never heard of, so I'm looking forward to digging into that too. Sonic Adventure, The Grinch, motherfucking Soul Calibur, a couple of wrestling games, Shadow Man, I'm really looking forward to getting involved in the Dreamcast. I really am. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sure myself and Richie and a few of the other boys, say Johnny Capcom for Sidecast, for example, are going to have a blast at that thing. Also, you have an Atari 2600. Let's step back in time, motherfuckers. Let's step back to the 8-bit era with the Atari 2600. And why not? We'll pop in the top of that. Yard's Revenge. I was just playing the demo of the remake of Yard's Revenge very lately. So, that's going to be a lot of fun to check out, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't remember the last time I've even seen one of these. I don't remember them being this small, this light. I remember them being big behemoths. But then again, I was a lot smaller and lighter at the time. So that kind of makes sense. Also, in the bag of tricks, we have a couple of Spectrum games. I don't currently own a Spectrum, but that has never stopped me picking up games for consoles. I've got a couple of bags of Atari Lynx games here. I don't own an Atari Lynx. I've got a couple of NES games complete in box here. I don't own an NES. I've even got an N64 card. I don't own an N64. But the way I see it, it's not a case of I don't own a console. It's a case of I don't own a console yet. I'll pick one up. So we have Arcadia on the Spectrum, which takes me back in time because I love the old days when video games came on tapes. Of course, this doesn't happen anymore. Everything's disc-based. In between, everything was cartridge-based. But it really kind of takes me back seeing them on tapes. I remember my brother used to have a Commodore 64 and it used to take us all day to load up a fucking copy of Rambo and Ghostbusters to discover they were shite. Also for Spectrum, Tapper. Also known as Root Beer Tapper, depending on where you're looking at it from. It's an old Midway arcade game, which personally I only know from Midway Arcade Treasures on PS2. And I loved it, and I played the hell out of it. I wanted the highest score on that thing. You know, and now I've got actually got myself an old school copy of it. You know, I'm eternally grateful for this one. This one blew my mind. It really did. I can't believe I actually have an old school copy of it. Is the Spectrum version good? It doesn't matter. I don't have a Spectrum to play it on. It's the fact that it's Tapper. Also, for anybody who doesn't know Tapper, that pub that Wreck-It Ralph drinks in, that's Tapper's. Now, what else we got? Oh, we've got a PlayStation 2. Because the man can never have enough PlayStation 2s. And we've also got a G-Con 45. Now, I remember having a land of G-Con 45s quite a few times over the years around the PS1 era. Around the mid to late 90s, playing the shit out of Time Crisis. And I loved it. I especially loved those bonus levels that weren't in the arcade. The one where you're going through the hotel and you got to take out that fucking spider mech. I absolutely loved it. I'm not a great shot. I was never very good at Time Crisis, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I've had a copy of Time Crisis sitting around in my PlayStation 1 collection for a very, very long time. But I've never had the G-Con 45 to play it with. I've had a kind of cheap knockoff, but it didn't quite do the job. It wasn't a fucking G-Con, man. But this is a Namco G-Con 45, and I am absolutely delighted with this. This makes my day every time I look at it. It really does. It makes me want to break out the PS1, break out Time Crisis, and start shooting motherfuckers. You know, straight up. Screw it, what with hell, we may as well break out some Starsky and Hutch on PS2. We'll break out a little bit of Area 51 on PS1. We'll have ourselves a time. You know? I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a G-Con 45, man. And that is the big ass bag of games. My mind is blown, straight up blown by this retro gaming haul. Absolutely. Like an Atari 2600, a fucking Dreamcast, a load of games to play. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself maybe for the rest of January. I'm never going to see the light of day again, that's for damn sure. You know. So, to those who gave me the games for Christmas, I really, really appreciate it. It's going to be so much fun. It was even fun, feeling like I was smuggling them all across the country with a big ass bag. So I had myself a blast. So what can I say apart from this is Spud from hitstartnow.com signing off. Good luck. Thank you very much for watching more about hitstartnow.com quick hits. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. You can also catch us at hitstartnow.com where we have written reviews, monthly blogs, infamous monthly podcasts. You can catch us as well on @hitstartnow on Twitter and /hitstartnow on Facebook. All of these will be linked down below in the description. Thank you very much.